Welcome to the Brothers Grin, everyone. Happy New Year. I got a relationship advice story, and my brother's got a Am I the A-hole? Let's get into it. My girlfriend, 34 female, threw darts at me, 37 male, at a get-together. Are things salvageable? It sounds interesting, you know. My girlfriend, 33 female, and I, 37 male, have been dating for 3 months, long distance. Last night, we were at her coworker's house to play darts. Everyone else, all women, had been drinking except for me. My girlfriend had one drink at the bar and then another heavy pour drink at her coworker's house. That's fine. It's a party. There were a few Nerf guns around and people were shooting each other with them casually. I shot her with a few Nerf balls, foam, Nerf darts, on 2 occasions. On the first reaction seemed like her reaction was playful and they didn't really bother her. On the second occasion, she suddenly started escalating and started throwing actual steel-tipped darts at me. I didn't feel it didn't feel very fun to receive on the receiving end. No, definitely fucking not, man. They're fucking throwing darts. I remember I threw a dart and it landed in your arm. Remember that?
Lawn dart?
In your scarf. Remember?
Oh no, the regular dart. Yeah, we was watching.
Threw it in the sky. And stuck into that.
We was watching them stick in the asphalt.
Yeah, it stuck you in the scar on your arm where you.
That was out in Paradise, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in Paradise.
Yeah,
that was days ago.
Okay, that's a long time ago.
She threw probably 4 or so at me at decent force, to the point where her friends had to hold her back and stop her from throwing them at me. I managed to deflect them away from me using a plastic Nerf gun I was holding. There wasn't any direct hits. She carried on the rest of the night like nothing was wrong. Later that night, when we went home, she asked why I was being distant. I told her I felt uncomfortable with what she did and how she acted. She said she was annoyed I hit her with a foam Nerf dart, but apologized for making me uncomfortable. Okay, sounds like a little downplay there, but whatever. We talked the next morning. She said she went overboard, apologized, and said it wouldn't happen again. I told her I needed some space. I've never felt unsafe around a partner before. We had a lot of Christmas and New Year's Eve plans, but I left the next morning to get some space. I feel bad for blowing up the rest of the holiday plans together. I can't shake the feeling like this would not be okay if the genders were reversed. I'm just unsure of what to do at this point. She says she wasn't drunk, but would have things been even worse if she was. I would imagine if she was super blasted, they would probably have escalated to a higher level. I'm concerned about her decision-making, willingness to harm me, drinking habits, and how she initially responded to my concerns. If somebody starts chucking metal darts at you, that's crazy. I've seen people get stuck with darts outside.
Is that the end of the story, dude?
That's the end, because it's just a relationship advice one. He's not like, am I the asshole? He's just like,
dude, it's long distance. Kick her to the curb. Girls throwing fucking darts at your ass, homie.
I mean, Nerf guns are Nerf guns, and you shoot some darts. I mean,
was he
I had somebody shoot a Nerf dart at my face. They hit me in the eye
hurts.
with that. I'd be heated.
Yeah.
But
I got a 6-year-old son. He has 20 automatic Nerf guns. That shit is not comfortable. Let me tell you.
Dude, I'm getting
I got him a nice one for Christmas just now. It's automatic. Takes those 35 milliamp battery, whatever the big that thing hurts. I stood there. I was like, shoot me in the back, see if it hurts. Pow! I was like, son of a. It hurts. No joke.
I've had one bounce off my face, and it heated me. It heated me, but this just gives me I'll shoot the butt or the thigh, but I'm not going above waist with it or something. Maybe nip. Try to shoot the nip. But that'd be great. I'm getting throw cups and plates vibes from this story, with the girl, you in an argument and she'll chuck something at you.
Relationships in the past where it was okay to throw stuff, or maybe their parents got in arguments and she would watch them throw stuff in the past. You
get stuck with a dart though, man. I play darts. Zach has a dart board and stuff, and those things are heavy. As you said, heavy weighted steel tip darts that.
Just regular darts. You see that guy get one stuck in his head? It's on a fail. That he was there at a bar or something, and he had his hand on the board, and it threw and stuck himself in the. I mean, dude, what happens if you take out an eye? He said it the best, if the roles were reversed and he was at a party where it was all females and he threw a dart at his girlfriend, stuck her with it, and she flopped around on the floor screaming, they would all look to him like he had lost his damn mind.
Even if he didn't stick her with it, if he was throwing darts at her, like metal darts like that, I guess in any situation it could be seen as assault. Like that's a
with a deadly weapon or something crazy nonsense. But regardless, like, we can all agree it's not okay to throw any sharp objects at your significant other or anyone for that matter. That's crazy. He's like,
somebody threw darts. I need
some relationship advice. Like, there's some advice for you, dude. Kick her to the curb.
Yeah, I mean,
girls tripping.
I don't really know the dynamic in this relationship. Obviously, long distance, the 3 months, like that's too short of a time, and too many things going on. That, like,
super hot. Is she super rich? Is there a reason why he's sticking around after she threw metal darts at his ass?
33 and 37, like, they're reasonable age.
33, yeah.
Evaluate, I guess evaluate based on what you want. Like, if you feel like her apology is really sincere and you just need a moment, like, try to recognize that, I guess, before making a hasty decision.
That's
but
different too. Like, if she was like, look, I'm sorry, I was like super faded and I didn't know what I was doing, and then like apologetic about it, and there was something like that, then it would be up to him to decide and be like, okay, well, obviously we can't be drinking like that anymore because you do that kind of stuff, and there'd be different parameters in the relationship, and that's a whole nother evaluation. Is he going to change his partying because of that, and alcohol's now an issue or something? But
I could see giving her a second chance, to see how things are, but paying attention to her rationale with things moving forward. Like, just take notice of how she reacts to stuff, because, as I said, I get cups and plate throwing vibes from this girl. Like, I'm not dealing with this. You're having an argument, and all of a sudden a little plate whizzes by your head. You're like, whoa, hold on a second there. I don't put hands on no one, and I demand that for myself in a relationship. We ain't physical like that with each other.
Cops are getting called.
Dude.
And
especially being a grown man, it's too easy. Even other grown men, like, I don't want to fight no one, dude. Like, once you get to a certain age and you're a certain size, like, I don't want anyone to break my face or jaw, and I ain't trying to break anyone's face or jaw. Like,
well, me and you've seen it firsthand. We've been at parties where girls get that are friends that get a little too handsy, and we both know some of them crazy girls that get like that.
Oh, being a bouncer for so long, I've been attacked by women as a bouncer, like, and they like, I couldn't imagine being in a relationship with somebody like scratching, biting, hitting, and I'm just sitting here just shoulder shaking the crap out of them, trying to knock that shit off. Like,
I don't play like that regardless in any relationship.
No,
I don't
bro.
play like that. I don't enjoy that. So don't smack me. I don't want to be smacked. Like,
definitely don't be smacking me. Like, if.
Well, it's
like, what warrants that?
Well, you said it too. Me and you are a little on the. I'm not saying we're huge or anything like that, or just ridiculously strong, but we're on the bigger side of things, and we're playing with a girl who's, my wife's 5'6". I can't. Sometimes you don't know that you're hurting them or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I outweigh my girl by 100 pounds.
Well,
like,
that's the thing. Yeah,
I but it's not necessarily about hitting or anything like that. Anything we do, there's force and stuff. I could throw in a dart. Like, I'm gonna have a lot more force.
You're like, haha. You give her a little push, and she's like, you're like, oh, my bad.
I would tell this dude, if I was talking to him, I'm definitely not going to leave a comment on this stuff. But a lot of people are like, yo, kick her to the curb.
Well,
she's insane. But I also think that's not necessarily a legitimate, like, rebuttal to the situation. Is she's insane,
he's
or
she
sounds,
if he's genuinely on here writing this out, I mean, he values his relationship and the time he's probably put into it. Being long distance, he's probably like, okay, I'm going to try to make this work because it's long distance. So that's a whole thing in itself. And he must really like this girl. So now he's seen this side of her, and he's like, oh, what do I do? So he's out here just looking for some advice. That's all.
I can see it being a red flag.
Or
I
maybe
can see it being a red flag and being concerned about it and something to pay attention to moving forward, because it seems like a very isolated situation, but if she continues to show
maybe spend a lot
an
of time trying to
overreact.
get this girl. We don't know the backstory. That's why some of these stories are rough to speculate on.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've read stuff online about like these stories, like, and most stuff, even Am I the Assholes? Like, we are really getting only one side. Very rarely do we get the full picture of things and everything like that. But based on what it is, it's pretty straightforward about the engagement between the two of them and what happened. But I wouldn't say break up with her. I mean, if she did express, apologies and remorse for what she did and said she's not going to do anything like that again, I would trust that. People do dumb stuff, in the moment, especially he said he was at a party with a whole bunch of ladies and her, and it was him, like girls will be girls sometimes.
That's true.
Guys will be guys sometimes,
Yeah,
especially in groups.
That's a big one.
Make mistakes. Yeah,
I got you.
It was just interesting. I'm like, getting darts thrown at you, though.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the hell are you doing?
Random.
If one stuck me, like if I got stuck by a dart, dude,
gosh.
it'd be over
Just in
instantly.
your
I'd be like, oh, she would have been left there. If I drove, she would have been getting a ride home or something like that. Like,
well, I drove, so
yeah. Hey,
deuces.
Same.
Deuces.
Yeah, no deuces.
Listen, LaQuisha, I'm out. I'm out, girl.
I'm out. Fuck this. All right. You can get into yours.
All right. So keeping in the New Year's theme. So since today is the 31st, Happy New Year's, everybody. I got one for you from Am I the Asshole? Here we go. For kicking my girlfriend out of my place on New Year's Eve for scaring my little brother. This one's a little longer one, but I just like to see somebody's comments. I got a lot of comments over here on Reddit, so let's get into her. We can all agree 2020 was a shit year, particularly for my family. We lost our dad at the beginning of the year from a heart attack. My little brother's 12 years old, and I'm 29. Our mom died when we were 3, so I fought for custody and was appointed as legal guardian for him. Honestly, it hasn't been easy. We're still adjusting to these life changes, and my brother is taking it the hardest. For months, he was just not himself. Bad attitude, lashing out. I got him in therapy because I knew he was just hurting, plus stress of the pandemic. His behavior has improved so much since then, even if sometimes there's days where he's withdrawn. Days before Christmas, he was feeling sad since it was our first holiday without our dad. Understandable. That day, he asked to be left alone. We had to talk to discuss his feelings, and I gave him space after that. My girlfriend was over that day, and I went out to buy groceries. When I got back, my brother was out of his room and helping out. I didn't think anything of it at the time. Yesterday, my brother and I were out having some guy time before going back to our home to get ready for New Year's Eve. My brother opened up about how grateful he is for everything and how he hopes that I don't change my mind about taking care of him. I asked why he'd think that, and he told me what had happened. That day when I was out, my girlfriend went to his room to tell him he needs to change his attitude and stop moping, her exact words, because he should be grateful I'm taking care of him at all, and that we can still hand him over to the state if we wanted to. I was furious about this. I was furious about this and had to reassure him that I was never going to let that happen because he was really worried about it. When we went home, I confronted my girlfriend and she didn't deny it. She told me it's true and that there was nothing wrong with telling him to stop acting like that and he should be grateful I gave up my life to take care of him. And the thing about giving him up isn't that big of a deal to her because it's not like I'd actually do it. I said she still scared him with that threat and told her to leave my apartment because honestly, I was far too mad and because I didn't want her to be near him right now. She started crying, there was more fighting, but she left in the end. It was just me and my brother for New Year's Eve. Since last night, I've been bombarded with calls from all our friends for kicking her out, knowing she has no family and nobody else to spend the holidays with. Everyone has sided with her, and even my best friend says I may have overreacted by making her leave when she probably thought she was helping. They've heard my side of the story, but still I think I was an ass for making her cry and spending the New Year's alone. I'm having trouble seeing how I could be here looking on the internet to strangers to weigh in on this. But we got a ton of feedback. Everybody's pretty much sided with me and gave me encouraging words and let me know how I should handle the situation in a positive light. So I'm just up here seeing what everybody thinks.
That's wild.
That is wild. That's a tough one, too. There's so many angles from this that's why I wanted to bring it on here.
Don't be, I mean, like, don't be threatening my blood like that. Like, I mean, granted, I understand the situation. Like, maybe she don't got family, stuff like that. But that's to me serious emotional and mental manipulation in an unhealthy way. Like, oh, we could give you up to this. The what is it? The scope of what that really entails is, crazy. And for somebody, a 12-year-old child, to already be dealing with a massive amount of things that are outside of their control, and then trying to process that on an adult level, or even to process it in general, and then
he's 12. He's probably going through puberty, so he's dealing with that. He's dealing with the loss of his father. He's dealing with his brother now becoming his authority figure in his life. I mean, there's so many angles for this. Kudos to the guy who's 29, because still, he's still at a younger side of his adult life. I think 29 still not. He's just now, that's when you're hitting your stride into your adult. Maybe you want to have kids, settle down, get married, things like that. The weight that this probably had on his relationship with his girlfriend. I mean, he stepped up in a big way that a lot of people wouldn't. And and he got him in
massive
therapy.
Levels of accountability.
He understood that he was hurting. There's so much just
kudos
in the story.
To that man.
Yeah, so much in this story, man, that had me also, because I'm trying to be biased here and not be biased and say, he's all in the right. It's probably a lot of stress on his girlfriend too, because that's a big change to their life. I get that. Doesn't excuse her for what she said.
Well, didn't you say it's like his apartment with his brother?
Yeah,
like it's not his and her apartment with his brother. It
didn't. Yeah, because she had her own place, and he said he kicked her out of my apartment. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I picked up on. I mean, does it say how long they were together for?
No, it doesn't say how long they were together for. I don't think that New Year's should have anything to do with it. I don't care if it's freaking Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever the hell it may be. She had, at any given time of the year, if somebody treated my 12-year-old brother like that, I wouldn't excuse that behavior. And
as a threats, man, you're threatening him even if you weren't serious. He doesn't know that.
The hand him over to the state thing,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you lose everyone, and now you're getting threatened with losing the last of what you have. Like, that psychological warfare, bro, not cool. Like, that's incredibly rough. And the kids, that's just crazy, because like, it's just the girlfriend, and like, I wish it said how long they were together, because I guess no matter how long they were together, it's like, it's never appropriate. That's a serious red flag to me, and a breach of like boundary.
What's weird here too is everybody in the comment section that's commented. There's thousands of comments on this. Granted, a lot of people were like, "You're not the a-hole, you're not the a-hole. Your brother comes first. Of course, family comes first." I mean, it goes above and beyond saying that. And then it's like, how is everyone siding with her? Why did all your friends side with her? She must have told some twisted version of the story. Now, he said it too. Like, even my best friend, well, how are you going to kick her out on New Year's and she has no place or no? That to me wouldn't matter like I said, what day of the year it would be. She had no right to say that to him. And I get that. And she didn't deny it. And she was apologetic. He came down here to say, she did say sorry, this and that. But it just put such a dampener on the relationship. The update did say down here, let me get back to it. This is such a huge story. They ended up breaking up because of it. And, that's crappy, but dude still stuck it out with his brother, and things are going better. He's like, he goes into, everything has been exhausting mentally, and it's really hard for me to step up, and I'm emotionally
you don't
drained,
need compounding
I'm gonna be here for my little brother, and regardless of what happens in my relationship life, that's huge, man. I mean,
that's huge.
It's huge. I give it to this man. He and a lot of the comments did, and he's really thankful in here. Like, I see this in a new light. I feel better about the decisions I'm making. Me and my brother are doing very well now. I mean, granted, this was 5 years ago. His brother's 17, so I don't know where they're at right now. But, dude, just a parent passing away or a family member that close, like me losing my best friend. This was almost 20 years ago now, and I still think about it. song comes on the radio, a moment in time, or something that we shared together comes up in my head and still makes me think about it, you know, and not necessarily makes me get down, but, you know, it changes your mood immediately. So
no, yeah,
losing their mom and then losing their dad, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, no, that's just a whole bunch of really sucky stuff. But for the girlfriend to assume that she can add to that in such a impactful way that's negative, like that's wild. Like, I understand breaking up. I might he probably, once again, here's somebody that probably handled a situation far better than I would have in that scenario, because, you know, as you said, he's stressed out. He's dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. He doesn't need her adding to that degree in that way. If anything, she should always maintain a sense of understanding about his level of mental, like, you know, well-being,
mental health,
based on everything, all his output. Like, you know, it's not like he chose this necessarily.
If she walked into his room and was like, "Hey, quit moping around. Come on, come hang out." You know, that's one thing. You're being encouraging or something. You know, like. But
you can empower people in different ways.
You know, we can still give you to the state, you know. And also, I don't know how she said it. That's just how I pictured it in my mind. I pictured, you know, Cruella de Vil in there. I will give you over to the state, God, looking like freaking Matilda and shit. You know, I mean.
Well, I mean, with what she said, it's like that's all you can really picture. There's no way to put a bow on that in a nice way, like, oh, we'll just give you up to the state, it's okay, honey. Like, you know, you're like, oh, what? I think that would scare me more if somebody said it like, you know, just all casual, nonchalant with a smile, like, this is a freaking psycho. but yeah, no, that's wild. I think the dude's on point with breaking up with her, especially because, like, I feel like that's a very severe thing with the fragility of the fragile state of the whole situation in general.
Well, he said he's better about it. And you know what? I mean, I guaranteed him taking his little brother, like I said, put a lot of stress on their relationship if they were currently in when all that happened. And now when he starts a new relationship with a girl, it's going to already be a part of his life. So the new person coming on board is going to know, you know? So maybe it'd be better in the long run. I don't know. You know, I wish I knew how long they were together. Like, if it was like, a 10-year relationship, then, you know, that's different.
Well, it's hard. You know, we've talked about this in previous videos. It's hard to navigate waters you haven't navigated before. Definitely. You know, I always tell my lady, like, if you're going to dwell on something, dwell on it for resolution. Don't dwell on it to just have it affect you negatively and then, like, sit there and stew in it. Like, dwell on things to find resolution and a path through it, emotionally, mentally, physically, that kind of stuff. But don't dwell on stuff to just sit there and be like, woe is me, because it doesn't help nothing. And hopefully this dude...
It is hard not to dwell. It is, like, I catch myself doing that too. I'm like, look, I can't control what happened, or you know, sometimes I'll reflect on how I reacted to something. And like I told you, I watch those Stoic videos. Just some of that stuff's outlandish. Like, I can't be a statue. I ain't made of stone. I got big heart.
No,
super.
Not at all.
I'm just not made to be that way. But I do like some of the takeaways. You know, like, things that are out of your control. Don't dwell on them. Don't sit here and feel bad. I'm not going to let it ruin my whole day because this happened.
Everything is a teaching opportunity, man. You can learn so much from, you know, positive thought and trying to find resolution. Like, that's what Stoic is to me. Like, you're not sitting there to brood on stuff. You're actually pondering real things to find real resolution that respect healthiness, emotional, mental, all of it. And you know, that's the best thing anyone could do, because it shows positive rationale. Like, you might lose your cool for a moment, but if you can recollect yourself and then come back and show maturity, especially in hard situations, where, you know, this dude's situation is I feel it's I forget the word. I don't want to say isolated, because it's just, like, at the time of that conflict, the kid was 12. So he's not going to deal with that again because now his brother's 17, you know. But it's like, if he gets into another relationship, he could easily set those boundaries, like, hey, we're all we have.
Yeah, that's one.
He might be troublesome and he might annoy you, but I'm always going to pick family first. You should. You know, it's important, like, especially if, you know, there's
stuff me and you've gone through in our past, you know what I mean? Like, or when you came to stay with me in Colorado, you know, I was still a kid. I was 20.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have all the answers. I did the best I could with what I had. Even now, like raising my kids, I do the best I can with what I have or the tools that I have available. Or thankfully, we have internet and YouTube and a lot of aspiring people. The information's out there to go find if you're willing to learn. It's like I don't think I don't know is such a good excuse anymore when there's so many resources you can tap into.
We have supercomputers at our fingertips. The information is there if you have the desire to acquire it. Like, as you said, about Chat GPT, Google, Reddit,
anything.
Like, anything. You have a plethora of knowledge. You just have to go out and acquire it. And I don't think there's any excuse for anyone outside of selfishness to be neglectful, discounting, and not try to understand where people are coming from. Like, I think about that stuff all the time. I know people go through stuff. We went through so much stuff in our life, and I know that we didn't have it the worst, but we definitely weren't on the better side of things growing up for a long time. Yeah. And, I always keep that in perspective. It affects me in the way I think about things and how I engage people. And it affects me in a positive way, not a negative way and stuff like that. But also it lets me know what I'm willing to deal with and what I am willing to go without. Like, I'll forego,
for sure.
It's not worth it, because trying to teach somebody something that they don't want to learn or don't care about is going to be more emotionally and mentally taxing and draining than it. Same old thing. I'd rather be alone and happy instead of miserable and with someone, and that's it.
Right. Definitely.
All right.
Thank you all for coming by and listening to the stories. Hopefully you guys can take some stuff away. That's why we're doing this, man. Just take away little key bits of information that might help you out.
Happy New Year's, everyone.
Happy New Year's.